Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Gail Francis and welcome to Gafra's Smart Art. So I first have to apologize. I haven't been sending out any videos for a little while because I had to go do minor surgery. So I was out of it for about 2 weeks. So I've only recently started back. So what are we going to be doing today? I've been following the whole intuitive painting and mark making type of art. It's a level of abstract art or painting, but it helps free you and loosen up your painting skills and your style. So one piece that I did was this one. So this is what we're going to be doing this morning. We're going to be doing something similar to this. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so this morning what I'm doing is I tend to use whatever I have available, and this is some foam core boards. It was basically a large foam core board that I cut in two, and I got these two pieces because they tend to fit within the frame really well. So this can fit in there, and then I would just cut it after I've done the pizza. It also tends to take the paint pretty good, so I tend to like using them. And I got them from some paintings that I had that didn't work out, so I removed it from the back of the painting and I'm going to be reusing it. Right? So let's get started with the painting. So this is my piece. Right, so I'll do it like that. So I painted the entire board yellow, and now I'm using the sponge to just do different marks all over the board. So now I've taken a square sponge that I cut out from some sponges that I had, old sponges that I have, and you can dip it in the paint, and you can use that to just put imprints into the board. So it makes some square imprints, and you could put a few of those, and you make marks as you see fit or whatever makes you feel comfortable. See, I've done 3 here. It looks almost like a staircase, and you keep doing that until you feel comfortable with what you've done or pleased with what you've done. Then you can also take a thin brush and make lines. You just hold the end of the brush and just drag it and move it around on the board, just making different marks. Flow important. If you find the paint is a little too thick so that it won't flow to make the lines easily, then you just add some thinner or water, and that allows you to make allows the line to flow longer and smoother, as you see I've done here. You just make whatever you feel. You just make lines whatever. And if you find you're not, sometimes if you put the paintbrush in your opposite hand, the hand you're not accustomed using, like I'm a right-hander, you put it in your left hand, you make some very interesting marks. You can drag it along the board, and notice I'm holding on to the tip of the paintbrush. The longer the paintbrush is away from you, the better the marks that you make, because you're not as controlled. But it is especially there's especially less control when you put it in your left hand. I love doing that. I make some very interesting marks when I put the paintbrush in my left hand, and you hold it at the tip. So you can just continue doing that. You can actually take a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, and put any paint, and you can do some spatter marks as well, like what I'm going to be doing now. You take the end of a paintbrush and you just spatter as you brush the bristles of the paintbrush, of the toothbrush. It will splatter paint, and everybody knows how to splatter paint. And you do as much as you want. You could even just dip the paint, the toothbrush in the paint and brush it across the canvas like I'm doing now. It makes some very nice bristle marks. You're basically just having fun here. It's like a child at play, doing whatever feels comfortable. There's no wrong move, there's no wrong thing to do. Just have fun. If you want to add another color, you can go ahead and do that too. If you find there's too much of one color, you can do that. This is a glass straw that I got at the market once, and I'm basically it makes these cute little circles. So you just dip it in the paint, and I'm imprinting these circles arbitrarily all through the board. Intuitive painting is really about just doing what you feel. There's no such thing as something being a mistake. There's no such thing as it being ugly. Art is an interpretation. So something that may be ugly to you may be beautiful to someone else, or speak to someone else in a different way. So you just do what. And like I once heard, every piece that you do, if you plan to sell it, it has its owner out there. It's just for the owner to meet up with it. So here I took an old brush, and the paint is still pretty wet, so I scraped the brush, the comb, sorry, through the paint, and it makes again these amazing scrape marks. I got carried away with it, but it still looks very good. And that's where you almost like a spatula, and you can scrape through the paint and make marks. It's just do whatever you feel. Do whatever you feel. Here I'm adding another color, but I'm looking at my color chart to decide what colors, because I'm staying within the warm tones. I may go into the cooler tones like blues, which is opposite to the warmer tones. So you just have to be careful with the colors that you use, because it could turn into mud. Opposites cause mud. So you can either stay within the cool or stay within the warm tones, but add a cool to add some contrast, or just do whatever you want. Whether it makes mud or not, as I said, there's no such thing as ugly. So here I'm using a roller. I dipped or placed a little bit of blue on the edge of the roller, and I'm just rolling that on. So you can take your finger and paste some blue or a different color on the roller and just start rolling it. So you see that's the ultramarine blue. And you can get carried, you can go crazy, because now I'm adding a lot more blue. Right, so after doing all the different marks and stuff, I wanted it to dry a little faster. So you can always use your hair dryer to get a quick dry. And also, while I was doing that, on the other board I started doing some different marks with any excess paint that I had. And this is kind of very, very wet, so I'll come back to this. So based on where you are now, I mean, if you feel you want to do any other marks with pencils, but I tend to like to use, because it's still kind of wet, my pastels. This I just adore because it has so many colors, and based on the color coding we're going with here with the yellow, red, and the punch of blue, we could do anything we want, but it depends on what we want to see happen. So it's like testing to see what could happen. So that kind of looks pretty cool. I just love these oil pastels. They are so nice. And if you want to do like you do whatever you want. I think the white will turn up with this. This kind of mixed media, you can do whatever you want. But I really liked how this blue looked. You can do whatever you want. I'll leave that. This is, anything is with this piece, you can look this good this way. Anyway, get some more yellow in there. If you want the yellow oil pastels. This is one of the more condensed pieces I've ever done. Normally they're a lot lighter and less marks. I don't know. This morning it's just calling me to do whatever I want. I keep adding green in there. What color is this? Color schemes here, but it's so interesting. These oil pastels are just amazing. I don't know. What you can do with them. Very nice. I love this. You can even put a shape inside of there if you wanted, but I like the complicated way it's looking, and I want to stick to the blues and reds. I want to stick to that. How I'm kind of keeping everything to the center, because don't forget, it's going in a frame where most of the art is going to be around this area. I think that's it for me. Right? So, yep, oil pastels. Lovely. And then you let it dry, and then once it's dry, I tend to varnish it and then put it in a frame, or you can just leave it as is. Like I said, it's foam core. So thank you very much for being with me today, and I hope you're able to try this and just have a good time, just have fun. I mean, I could come back in and just put my finger in here and do all this with my excess paint, just smash it in there anywhere. But the overall effect is make your mark. All right, thanks guys, bye for now.